Hi everyone. This is going to be a demonstration of a script that I wrote to get a training set for Yolo. So Yolo is where you basically put a bounding box on certain objects that you're tracking. So the script that I've written is for a single object, all right? So no more than a single object. And the thing is that with videos, it's tedious going through frame by frame and drawing bounding box, right? So what I've gone ahead and done is put in a tracker, which I will talk about in a bit. And it uses a tracker to take that bounding box across images, right? So this script does two things. One, it stores the image, right? So in this case, I've gone using Bolt's face, right? And so that's the images, obviously. And the second thing that it does is it creates a text file. Now, if you look at the text file, what you'll see is these four numbers, right? So it starts off with a zero, so zero starting for the class. And then the second two numbers are the center of that particular bounding box, right? So X, Y, and then width and height. Now, if you're wondering why they're all less than one, these numbers, that's because it's the relative width and relative height, relative center. Okay, so relative to the dimensions of the image, these are the bounding boxes. So, all right, so let me quickly go through the script on itself before I get started with the demonstration. And by the way, I should mention the way that this does it is it creates a data set for darknet, right? So the PJ ready GitHub page, if you go there, and this will create the data set ready for the training of that. Okay, and a bit of a disclaimer: you will probably want to include other data sets besides what you get from a single video, because sure, you can create a whole bunch of images and bounding boxes from all this, but the variation is small, right? So you probably want to either one, add more and more videos, or two, look at the open images dataset as well added on to this thing. All right. Okay. So let me go through how this is structured, right? So it takes the Python script takes in four arguments. First, the name of the video. The other ones are completely optional. So the max object means how many objects do I want to track. So the default set is 6, and that is the absolute maximum. It can be less than that. The maximum number of frames that I want to go through, so I've set that to 500. And the threshold. Now, threshold isn't an obvious thing, but one thing you'll notice is that with when you have videos, in general, the camera angle changes. So when camera angles changes, the tracking goes out the window, right? So basically what this does is it has I'll set the threshold to 2. So it looks at the average pixel difference, right? So, and if that's greater than 2, it stops the video and asks you to put down the boxes again. Yeah, so you can leave that as it is because I think it's a fairly decent threshold. Anyway, let's keep going. So we captured the video here. It's fairly standard. So we are using openCV if you haven't noticed already. I do resize the image to 608 by 608. Now, if you're wondering where those numbers come from, the Yolo version 3 use those particular numbers to resize the image. So you don't have to use them. You're free to change that if you want to, but I think it's good to leave it as it is. Right, so here we go. So it creates a multi-tracker. And then it asks you to select the region of interest, right? So within the frame, it asks you to create that. If I don't select anything, it does continue on. So it doesn't have a tracker in that case. But the particular tracker that I do is called a CSRT, right? So I personally found to my applications that might be robust, but I'll show you an instance where it does break down. Specifically occlusions, it does tend to break down and track the other object, what occluded it. So it is a weakness, but you are free to stop tracking that and redraw the thing. So Right. So that's pretty much it. Let me just demonstrate how this works. So you had to go Python, the script, so multi-object tracker, and the name I call this is Usain Bolt one. So let me come up with this thing. So here we go. All right. So this is what we have. I want to skip the first few frames. So the way that you skip it is to simply press enter. Okay, so now it's ready to. Now, when you want to start tracking, you need to press S. Right, so this is all in the README. If you want to go through that, so I'm going to track these two players. So every time you put a bounding box, you have to press enter, and they'll register it. So yes, it disappears, but I don't really know how to get around it. And then I'll track these two Jamaican players. Okay, and once you're done drawing the bounding boxes, so remember in this case I have 6 as the maximum. I just want to track 4. Just press enter again. Let's start tracking those things. You can see it's doing okay, but just focus on these two guys over here. See how they're merging? Now, unfortunately, once they merge, they're still tracking okay. And over here, Usain Bolt's head is kind of missing, but let's suppose that's okay. Now you are free. Yeah. So at this point. So let me just stop it there. So if you didn't notice, at this point, those two things had stopped tracking this guy, and it's only tracking the one in the red, right? So both the bounding boxes are running. So what you can do is you can stop it. So to stop it, you press S, and then you can redraw the bounding boxes, right? So let me redraw them. Yeah, press enter. And just for even time, I'll just draw these 3. So technically, you're supposed to draw, like, with all the objects that you see in this one, you should be drawing them, right? But yeah, so let's keep this rolling. I do want to show you what happens when the camera angle changes. So you see him running. So the camera is still very much the same. It doesn't pass the threshold, so that's why it's still tracking. While it still hasn't stopped the video, but you see that once the camera angle changes, so see how these things are still being tracked. Okay, here we go. So I didn't do anything; it stopped by itself. Okay, so yeah, so it's looking for that particular threshold. So now I can start tracking him again if I want to. So press enter again. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now, if you at any point you do want to quit the program, you can press Q and it will stop recording. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the demo. So if you have any questions or comments, please do let me know. But now if I was to go back to back here, you see that like the labels that I have, Usain _ 69.txt. So it started tracking from the 69th frame, right? And if I go to my images, you'll see that the first image that I have is the 69th one, right? So it it only takes in the ones where you have labeled it. Yeah, let's quit this thing, right? And so if I want to see how many images I have, so I just go ls images and pipe that into wc-l. So I have 432 images from the single video, right? So that would have been really hard to do had I been doing just videos. So yeah, so that's it. You should now if you do more videos, which you should be doing, it will just keep on adding into this images and labels thing. And now after you've done all that, you can go and train it with Yolo, which I will have another video or a GitHub repo for. So that's it. If you have questions or comments, please do let me know. And thanks for watching.